Hey guys, welcome back to A Gut Feeling. And there's actually a very specific reason why I named my podcast A Gut Feeling. It is because of the brain gut connection. It is because that everything that goes on in our brain is directly connected to the gut. So that's what we're going to get in today. It is so important in your gut healing journey to learn how to manage stress because life is always happening and there's always something that is coming up. If you don't have a long-term plan to manage stress and you are trying to heal your gut or have healed your gut, but you continue to have stress, it will always be getting in your way. Okay. So today we're going to dig into all the things stress management. I'm going to share my top 3 tips for managing stress as it relates to gut health, things that will help you dig in and settle in really, really quickly. So stick around for that. In the meantime, I want to tell you a little story about me and my own realization with the brain gut connection. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys knew this or not. Some of you may, and some of you may not, but I used to be married. It's been a few years since I haven't been married, but towards the end of the relationship, there was a lot going on, right? And I think for anyone that is sort of ending a relationship or thinking about ending a relationship or stuck in that zone, you start to feel really stressed or you feel stuck. And a lot of physical and mental pain can come from that, especially when you're planning to, separate things and all that stuff. And, it's stressful for both parties. Well, around that time, I had developed a pain in my stomach on the left side that was like a dull, achy pain. And no matter what I ate or didn't eat, because some days I would just say I was so frustrated with pain that I didn't want to eat, which I know many of you have been there saying, I just feel better not eating, so why even try? That I would still feel the pain. So I went to a ton of doctors to try to figure out what's going on. I had CAT scan, MRI, and a lot of other blood work and stuff to figure out. And it felt and looked like diverticulitis, but it didn't come up that way. And then it felt and looked like it could be, some inflammation or maybe bowel twisted, but it didn't come up that way. So it was very frustrating because I couldn't figure out what it was. Now, this is sort of where when I coach women, it's like we're always searching and looking for answers outside instead of looking inside. And I was really outside of my body in this time. I just was really overwhelmed and didn't have any stress management in play. And so this pain that I thought I was feeling felt medical when it was very much mental. So, test after test, doctor after doctor, thousands of dollars later, I am still feeling this pain and I go through the separation. I move into my new place, which that is obviously a little overwhelming too. A couple weeks go by and the pain is gone and hasn't returned. And I was like, wow, very interesting. Why did this pain just go away? What have I changed? Nothing has changed. And I really, truly realized that pain can be extremely associated with stress or anxiety or in a controlled situation where you feel stuck. Now, at the time, whenever anyone is going through some type of trauma like that, they're sort of holding in their truth. They're, trying to figure out ways to just make things work easier for them and not looking at the bigger picture. So it's very interesting that this pain went away when I was sort of free of this situation. And again, it's not like anything terrible was happening. It's just when time is up on a relationship or you're going through the grieving of a loss or even losing a loved one to death or you're in trauma because of disease, our mental capacity can get overwhelmed before our actual physical pain does. So it's very important to understand the relationship here. And I'm sharing this story so you guys can understand, like, even someone who can be aware of these things can still have this stuff happen to them. So interesting enough, time went on and I didn't feel this pain anymore. However, it showed up again last year when I moved to Mexico, or I should say earlier this year when I moved to Mexico. And it was my first time living out of Michigan. It was a new place. It was a new environment. Food access was different. I had to sort of get used to living in a different country, all of these things. And here I am, probably a little overwhelmed, not putting my stress management tools in place. And here comes the pain again. Well, coincidence? I definitely think not. This is where I started to say, okay, getting in tune with your body and understanding what's going on in the brain gut connection and energetically understanding how mental exhaustion can relate to physical pain in the body is very real. And when we're looking for answers outside of that, medically and physically, instead of looking in, mentally and understanding what's going on energetically, we're looking in the wrong place. So I saved stress management and obviously getting in tune with your body for the end, because I'm hoping it has the most impact on how you're feeling along the way in your journey. So I want to talk about the brain gut connection for a little bit so you guys can understand how it's relative to here. Now, before I dig in, if you haven't listened to the rest of the podcast in the series is called 5 Steps to Reduce Bloat. It starts with, the first one where we talk more about chewing, and then it goes into step 2, which is about boosting Agni, and then food combining is number 3, and number 4 is intuitive fasting. And all of these steps of reducing bloat and also chronic inflammation of the gut, digestive distress, diarrhea, constipation, gas, all of the things contributing to digestive distress, they are all very valuable. So if you are skipping over any of them, it's important to go back and listen to all of them, especially in succession, because you're going to learn a lot along the way. And they're only 26 minutes. The information is completely free, and it's very, very helpful in your gut healing journey. If you're not doing all of these 5 steps first, then there's no reason to reach out to a doctor or anyone just yet, because you're really not getting in tune with what your body truly needs first. You're searching for answers outside your body. These 5 steps will help you get in tune. So I encourage you to go back and listen to all of them so you have an idea or understanding of what you need. Okay? So brain-gut connection. The brain and the gut are directly connected through this nerve called the vagus nerve that starts behind the ears, connected to the brain, and it connects all the way through the body in the gut and continues to keep going throughout your body. But that direct connection between the brain and the gut is really what we're going to focus on today. Now, there's thousands of millions of neurotransmitters being connected back and forth, communicating back and forth at what's going on in the brain, what's going on in the gut, back and forth. So if you've ever had butterflies in your stomach, or you've ever felt like that overwhelming feeling of intuition, or you feel pain if you're, stressed out, this is that brain-gut connection fully kicking in. So what happens here is if you are stressed out and your fight or flight response from your sympathetic nervous system is engaged, it sends those signals to the gut that you are in distress. And that triggers your immune system to take control or to try to help the situation. What happens there is it will create inflammation to protect you. Well, long-term stress, long-term, sitting long-term in fight or flight response triggers the immune system to chronically exude inflammation, which leads to disease. So chronic stress can create a lot of chronic gut issues. Now, vice versa, if you are having gut issues because you're, overindulging in toxic triggers, you're having poor nutrition or poor lifestyle, and that the gut is distressed, that is also in turn sending signals to the brain. And if the gut is distressed, then you're definitely not creating enough serotonin, the happy hormone. And if you're not creating enough serotonin, that is going to reflect how you feel mentally. It can make you feel depressed. It can make you feel anxious. It can make you feel sad. And so you can see how directly connected the brain and the gut are with everything that's going on. Well, furthermore, everything in the body is connected, from your eyelashes to your toenails. Everything is connected, and everything is always moving in succession. But today, as far as the brain-gut connection goes, it is so important to really look at how we manage stress and what we say to ourselves. What are the ways that we struggle? Because these are the things that can keep you stuck in a gut healing journey. And, I'm no stranger to it. It definitely has affected me along the way. Everything is energy. So here we are now thinking about how stress affects the gut microbiome, how it lowers serotonin in the gut. And this low serotonin is contributing to the sort of sadness, depression around a healing journey as well. So what we want to look at here is to focus on a few things that keep us managing our stress or coping with our stress or identifying the stress. That way we have a long-term plan to be able to manage it. So in any situation, as big as a pandemic or as little as someone at work pissing you off, and being able to focus and have balance all the time so that you feel like you can manage a lot that comes your way. So, just for an example here, when we live in fear or we live in worry or we live in stress or we allow people to affect us all the time, we're chronically stressed. And if you're chronically stressed, there is a lot going on in the body. They say stress is a silent killer. So we really want to get away from that. All right. So how do we get away from stress and how do we stay focused so that the things from the outside are not affecting us as much, whether it's a person or weather or a place or a pandemic or whatever's going on? How do we get there? Now, the number one way to do that is to stay in the present moment, to really focus on the present. Okay. So the past is the past, the future is the future, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. And I love that little quote. It's so beautiful. It means so much because it truly is a gift to live in this moment right now. So let's take the state of what's going on in our country. We're all very worried about what's going to happen with the virus and the aftermath of it. Many people potentially struggling with their job or transition of what they need to do with their life or anything like that, or even struggling with their physical health. It can propel us into the future to worry so much about what may happen. When we focus on that, we lose sight of how we feel today. So if you're chronically in the future, most often people that are chronically in the future have a lot of pain or inflammation or disease in their body because they're not fully present and in tune with what's going on. Now, you can't change the future, okay? I mean, maybe there are some scientists that know how to do it, but we're all average Joes here. We are not changing the future. We can only focus on today. So to focus on the present moment is to shift how we feel mentally in this moment. So what can I really control from this situation? What am I contributing to in the situation if I'm worried about what will happen instead of allowing myself to surrender to what could have? Consider it for a second that whatever is supposed to happen here or supposed to happen to you in your personal life is already laid out for you. The universe has your back indefinitely, okay? So the goal here is to surrender, to stay present, to allow flow and to not force, pedaling in the opposite direction and just trying to force the flow. The more present you can become, the more calm your gut will be. So if you are someone who struggles with chronic inflammation of the gut and you are chronically stressed, look at stress first. Figure out how to maybe eliminate things from your life that are continuously causing stress, or to try to figure out how to manage it better, saying no, creating boundaries, and stepping into the present moment. So that's number one. But you're probably like, okay, that sounds great. La-di-da. Thanks, Jaclyn. Stay in the present moment. That's not easy. What are the tools you need to step into the present moment? Now, number two, which is breath work, to me is the fastest way to drop yourself into that parasympathetic nervous system, to drop yourself into rest and digest, and to allow yourself to surrender. Breath work switches you into this rest and digest really, really quickly. It shuts off that sympathetic nervous system and that fight or flight response. There are unlimited amounts of resources when it comes to breath work. One of my favorite guides to follow is Wim Hof. I love Wim Hof breath. Even for me in preparation for my surgery and just allowing to surrender and flow to that, I am doing Wim Hof breath every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Guess what? It only takes 3 minutes. So don't say you don't have time for it. I know you do. And, in addition, there are so many other apps and things you can do. Another favorite of mine is MB Menino. You can go to mbmenino.com. She has a couple free downloads on her shop page. I love MB. She's really been pivotal for me in the breathwork space. I also have Insight Timer. You can, do their you can do their timer meditations. You can customize them. They even ask you how you're feeling before and after meditation. So that's super fun too. But either way, it's about learning the steps you need to take in breath work to drop yourself in. You can completely change your nervous system with even just a few minutes of breath work. Now, the reason why this is so powerful, let's loop back to the brain-gut connection. Think about it. If the brain is being cut off from oxygen because you're holding your breath and you're stressed out, that is in turn sending those neurotransmitters to the gut that something is wrong, that you're stressed out. Well, imagine if you get more oxygen to your brain and your gut by taking deep breaths, by expanding the belly and allowing that breath to flow, and inhaling and exhaling deeply to get oxygen moving. Of course, the cells are going to reproduce. Of course, the nervous system is going to calm down. So really try connecting with breath work. That is a great tool to tap into the present moment and to sort of be focused on the day at hand, right? All right. So that was number 2, talking about breath work. Moving into number 3, which is connecting with nature. Sounds super simple, right? It's like, oh yeah, I connect with nature. I go outside. I might go for a run. I might, walk outside or sit outside at night or whatever it is. But this is really more about actually connecting with it to heal. So there's nothing more healing than connecting with Mother Nature and connecting your body with Mother Nature. It's think about it. And the grand scheme of things, like how much time do we spend indoors, sitting down on a computer in, UV light or, these bright white lights that are really hard for our circadian rhythm, hard on our circadian rhythm, or, poor air quality inside. There's tons of poor air quality if you work in a building or even in your home. You never know how the air quality is really these days. So it's very important to get outside. First of all, you're getting that natural vitamin D. And vitamin D is an essential nutrient right now, especially to protect your immune system from any viral. Also, so many people are vitamin D deficient, and a lot of the side effects of being vitamin D deficient include depression, anxiety, fatigue. So if you're experiencing some of those, you can go to get a blood test from your doctor and find out if you're vitamin D deficient. And I've seen huge changes in people just pushing up their vitamin D intake from a supplement, but at the same time, getting outside in that natural sunlight. The best time to get outside for the natural sunlight for vitamin D, first thing in the morning. That is excellent. Don't touch your computer. Don't touch your phone. Don't get on any electronics. Don't get busy into worrying about the day. Just get outside and breathe some fresh air and put your feet in the grass. Feet in the grass is very grounding, especially when we're exposed to a lot of technology. So even walking around on the grass for 5 minutes and really connecting with self, checking in with your body, understanding. So even all the tools I've given you guys today are 5-minute tools, 5-minute breath work, 5 minutes on the grass. Now, to really truly reap the long-term benefits, you're going to want to do it consistently and longer. But imagine if you do it here and there just a little bit, you can still see some difference. So incorporating these tools are so important for connecting with your body on a cellular level and to really heal the body. And if you truly want to heal your gut, these are the things you're going to need to make time for. Point blank. Full stop. So, okay. Now, we are basically finished with the series, 5 Steps to Reduce Bloat. Again, just like I said before, you can go back and learn so much from each of the podcasts and, take in each of these steps, really put them into your life. Now, if you find yourself saying, well, I've done a lot of the steps, I'm still struggling, I can't really get to a place of feeling good on my gut healing journey, you have 2 options. The first option is to join my Digestion Masterclass. The Digestion Masterclass is a full, it's a full 4-week online self-guided program of all of these steps and then some, and a lot of direction as far as where you need to take it for a personal gut healing journey. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, the link is right here below. If you are checking out my website, it's on my website under Work With Me. Website is jaclynreneewellness.com. You can check that out, or you can see this in the show notes as well. Now, the thing about this self-guided 4-week online program that's different is how I go about introducing this stuff into your life. You'll get a module each week. Each week, the module will have 3 steps, 3 action steps for you to take, some action items for you to do inside of your home, and then a full recipe and meal plan for both paleo and vegan, so you can mix and match whichever you choose, with full grocery shopping list, meal plan, meal prep, all of that stuff. So it's super helpful when you're integrating this into your life. Now, along the way, I will offer discounts on supplements or services if you feel like you need additional help when it comes to this stuff as well. So it's always really helpful to get those extra little goodies. And in addition to all of this, the best part about it is that you have this information forever. It's never going away. So once you buy it once, it's yours for a lifetime. You can download all the stuff. You can create a binder. So you always know where to go from there, which is really awesome, right? Because if you pay for something once, you don't always get it for the rest of your life. Now, if you subscribe to either my YouTube channel or to my podcast on Spotify or iTunes, you can go to the Digestion Masterclass link and register using the code SUBSCRIBER, all lowercase, and save $30 on registration, which makes the program only $99. That's nothing. That's $25, less than $25 a week. And again, you have this program for forever. So super, 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 super helpful when it comes to working on your digestive issues to have this for long term. So in relation to everything that we're doing here inside the program, I want to be very transparent about something. The thing is that we are so focused on doing that we often forget about being. And when we think about a healing journey, we can often think, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to get better, I got to eat better, all this stuff. When the real healing comes from just being and sitting still and really connecting with self to have your own body as your own guide, to create yourself as your own North Star, basically. So I really want you guys to connect with that and think about that for a little bit. And if you find yourself really saying, I need more guidance than these podcasts or even this online digestion class, and you're finally ready to break free from this chronic inflammation and you're just ready, you can book a complimentary consultation with me. The complimentary consultation is a 20-minute video. So we're face to face connecting about your health history, your goals, your limitations, what you've tried, what's held you back, and where you want to go. Most importantly, who you really want to be in this gut healing journey. What does it look like for you when you finally healed, right? So inside of that program, inside of that discovery call, we're also going to figure out what you need as far as nutrition, self-care, that kind of stuff moving forward, so we can create a very, 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 very personalized plan for you, because your journey is not like any of my other clients or anyone out there that's healing. Every person is on their own individual journey. And so we need to create a customized plan. There is no one size fits all. And we do it while breaking free from diet culture and not getting on this roller coaster of ups and downs anymore, which is awesome, right? So if you want to book that call, again, if you're watching the YouTube, here goes the link below for the discovery call, or you can head over to my website, jaclynreneewellness.com. At the top of the website on every page is the link to click to book the discovery call. If you're all on the gram, then on my IG through the link in my bio, you can book the call there. You can also browse all of my other links like my YouTube channel, my private Facebook group, Beat the Bloat with JRW, and any other programs and offers that are in there. Now, if you are needing any supplement health, you can go to my supplement dispensary, again, on those links, and you can always get 10% off if you create an account. All right, so the end of the series, I'm kind of sad. What will we talk about next? Who knows what's coming up next, but I'm very excited to always bring you all of the information on gut health. I'm so passionate about it. And especially right now, it is key to boost your immunity and prevent disease. So taking the step in the right direction is for your wellness journey is very, very, very important. And of course, I always love to hear your feedback. Let me know how you feel about this series. Please leave a review, or you can reach out to me via email, Jaclyn@jaclynreneewellness.com. I'm always here for help for you. And I hope this series has been so helpful for you. If it has been, don't forget to share it with your friends and tag me on Instagram at Jaclyn Renee Wellness. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.